All right, so we're diving into another deep dive today, and this one, this is going to be interesting.
Definitely.
We are looking at a video from Invest with Corey on YouTube. He's talking about, those hot stocks you should buy before 2025.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are going to, like, send your portfolio to the moon,
Ones
supposedly.
that are going to make you rich.
Right, exactly. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
We only have one source for this deep dive.
Okay.
Just this one YouTube video,
Let's
right?
go.
So we're not giving financial advice,
Right.
and we're not saying whether or not we agree with Corey.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to see what he's saying and kind of like unpack his reasoning, see if he's onto something or if it's, just a bunch of hype. Right?
Exactly. Break it down.
Yeah, exactly.
See if it holds water.
See if it holds water. And, right off the bat, Corey kind of gives us that, that influencer vibe. He's got the fam shout outs. He's plugging his training program.
He's really working it. Yeah.
But hey, that's his style, right?
Yeah. That's Corey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely grabs your attention.
Yeah. Okay, so
Close. Yeah.
he gives us a list, a top 5 list,
Okay.
plus 2 bonus picks. And he starts with his number 5 pick, which is nvidia.
Interesting.
And I was kind of surprised by this one.
Yeah. nvidia. That's a big name. Why so low on the list?
I know. This is nvidia. We're talking about a tech giant.
Mm,
But he's not saying it's a bad investment. I think he's questioning
right.
how much higher it can go.
Yeah. Especially in the short term.
Right, especially in the short term. Like, they've already had a huge run this year.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of competition heating up in that space.
That's what I was going to say. He mentions AMD,
right.
potentially Intel if they merge with Qualcomm,
Wow.
and then Broadcom as well. So even though the demand for NVIDIA's GPUs is huge,
Yeah.
Corey seems to think that those competitors might sort of, slow down their growth.
That's a really important point because it shows how quickly things can change in the tech world.
Right.
Even a company as dominant as NVIDIA can't just rest on their laurels.
Exactly. So I think it's not so much that NVIDIA is a bad pick.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that Corey sees...
He sees bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, exactly. Bigger opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we move on to his number 4 pick.
Okay.
And this one, I had to do a little Googling. It's SoundHound.
SoundHound.
SoundHound, have you heard of this?
I have not.
I hadn't either before watching this video. So SoundHound is a smaller company, what they call a small cap company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they focus on voice AI and conversational intelligence.
Interesting. So like virtual assistants, but maybe on a deeper level.
Yeah, think like way more advanced than Siri or Alexa.
Okay.
And they've actually got some big names working with them.
Like who?
Like NVIDIA for the tech side,
Okay.
MUSC Health for healthcare applications.
Interesting.
And they even recently acquired Amelia, which is another AI company.
Wow. They're really building something there.
It seems like it, yeah. And this small cap thing seems to be something Corey's really into.
Yeah. He's coming back to that.
He thinks because these companies are smaller,
Mm-hmm.
they have like more room to grow, especially in a market he thinks is going to surge
After the election.
right after the election.
Makes sense. Small caps can be riskier, but they can also have these huge jumps in value if things go their way.
Yeah, that's what he's banking on for sure.
All right, so we've got a theme emerging here. Small cap, high growth potential.
Right. And then that brings us to his number 3 pick, which is,
Let me guess, another small cap.
you got it, SoFi.
SoFi. I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think they're getting more and more well-known.
Yeah.
So they're a financial technology company.
Okay, so fintech.
Fintech, yeah. They do personal loans, student loans, investing platforms, even banking services.
So they're trying to be like a one-stop shop for all your financial needs.
It seems like it, yeah.
Interesting.
And Corey thinks they're in a good spot to benefit from a few things.
Like what?
Well, first of all, the student loan pause is ending.
Oh, right.
So he thinks that could mean a lot of new customers for SoFi.
Makes sense.
Mm.
People are going to need to figure out how to manage those loans again.
Exactly. And then he also thinks interest rate cuts could make SoFi's products more attractive.
Interesting.
Yeah. And of course, he keeps coming back to that idea that small caps are primed for rapid growth.
Yeah, he's definitely got a type.
He does. He's all about those small caps.
But it's not just about size. He also talks about SoFi's price-to-sales ratio.
Yeah, that was kind of over my head, to be honest.
So basically, it compares a company's stock price to how much revenue they're generating.
Okay.
And Corey seems to think that SoFi's ratio is pretty low compared to other tech companies, which suggests they might be undervalued.
So it's like A hidden gem waiting to be discovered, according to him.
That's the idea. But of course, you always have to look at these things in context.
Right, it's not a guarantee.
Definitely not.
All right, so 3 picks down.
3 down, 2 to go.
And it's been an interesting ride so far.
It has. We've got cutting-edge tech, voice AI, and now fintech.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what he's got for his top 2 picks.
Me too. Especially that #1 spot. He really hyped it up in the intro.
I know he did. I can't wait to see what it is.
Well, we'll have to dive into those after a quick break.
Let's take a break, and we'll be right back with the top 2 picks from Invest with Corey. Okay, so we're back, and we're ready to dive into Corey's top 2 picks for stocks that he thinks are going to explode before 2025.
He really built up the suspense for these, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Especially for his number 2 pick, which is
Serve robotics.
Serve Robotics. Okay, so robots. I feel like we're officially living in the future.
Right. It's not sci-fi anymore. It's like happening right now.
Yeah. So what exactly is Serve Robotics doing with these robots?
They're all about robotic delivery. Think of those little robots you might have seen rolling around sidewalks, delivering food or packages.
I've seen pictures of them, yeah.
That's Serve Robotics.
Oh, wow. So they're already out there doing it.
Yeah, they've partnered with some pretty big names already. Uber Eats, 7-Eleven.
Really?
Even nvidia and Google are in the mix.
That's a pretty impressive lineup.
It is. It shows they're serious about this. And Corey definitely sees massive potential in this whole robotic delivery trend.
But he does acknowledge the risks too, right? I mean, this is a pretty young company, right?
Yeah, it's a young company, so there's not a ton of historical data to base predictions on.
You're kind of betting on their future success.
Yeah, you're betting on the technology taking off and the market growing.
So high risk, high reward kind of situation.
Exactly. And Corey, he loves a high risk, high reward play. He even threw out a potential 28 times return if Serve Robotics hits his target stock price.
28 times. That's a lot. When does he think that could happen?
Well, he's saying in the next 5 to 8 years.
Whoa. That's a long time to wait, and a lot can happen in that time frame.
Right. Who knows what the world will look like in 5 to 8 years, let alone the stock market.
It really makes you think about the whole idea of risk tolerance when it comes to investing. Are you comfortable waiting that long? And are you okay with the possibility that it might not pan out?
Exactly. Investing in a company like Serve Robotics is a big bet on the future.
Okay, so we've got high growth potential with Serve Robotics, but it's a risky one. Now I'm even more curious about his top pick. What could be even more exciting than robots delivering everything?
Well, his #1 pick is a company that's been around for a while, and they're making big waves in the world of data analytics.
Oh, interesting. Data analytics is huge these days.
Absolutely. And the company Corey thinks is going to dominate this space is Palantir.
Palantir, I've definitely heard of them. They're not a small startup, are they?
No, not at all. They've been around for about 20 years, and they have a strong track record working with both government agencies and commercial clients.
So this is more of an established player compared to some of his other picks?
Right. But Corey sees them as a company that's still in a strong growth phase, particularly because of their focus on AI.
AI, there it is again. He really seems to be bullish on artificial intelligence.
He is. And with Palantir, they're using AI to analyze massive amounts of data, helping their clients identify patterns, make predictions, and basically make better decisions.
So they're not just collecting data, they're actually helping people understand it and use it.
Exactly. And that's incredibly valuable in today's world where everyone is drowning in data.
Yeah, it seems like every company out there is talking about big data and AI these days.
And Corey is betting that Palantir is going to be a leader in this space.
What makes him so confident about Palantir specifically?
Well, he points to their strong track record, their expanding client base, and their ability to land large contracts. He even mentioned Project Maven, which is a multi-million-dollar contract they have with the U.S. government.
So he thinks they're going to keep securing these big deals and really cement their position in the data analytics market.
That's what he seems to be thinking. He's projecting a potential 3 to 5 times return on investment for Palantir in the next 2 to 3 years.
Whoa, that's a pretty bold prediction.
It is. But like we said before, it's important to remember these are just projections. Nobody can predict the future of the stock market with 100% certainty.
Right. And even if Corey is right about Palantir's potential, it's up to each individual investor to decide if that level of risk is right for them.
Exactly. It's all about doing your own research, understanding the company and the market, and making informed decisions that align with your financial goals.
Okay, so we've gone through Corey's top 5 picks, and it's been a roller coaster. Cutting edge tech, robotic deliveries, and now data analytics. What else does he have in store for us?
Well, he actually has two more bonus picks. He says these are for investors who are looking to diversify their portfolios even further.
Oh, interesting. I'm always up for learning about new companies and new investment opportunities.
All right, well, his first bonus pick takes us to the world of electric vehicles.
EVs, everyone's talking about EVs these days. Which company caught Corey's eye?
He's bullish on NIO, a Chinese electric vehicle company.
NIO, I've heard that name before. They're supposed to be one of the leading EV makers in China, right?
That's right. And Corey sees a lot of potential for growth as the Chinese EV market continues to expand.
It seems like EVs are only going to get more popular in the coming years, so it makes sense that he'd be interested in that market.
Yeah, but he also points out that there are some risks to consider when investing in a company like NIO.
Oh, like what?
Well, geopolitical tensions are always a factor when you're dealing with international markets. And the Chinese stock market has been lagging behind the U.S. market lately.
So there's potential for growth with NIO, but it's not without its challenges.
Exactly. You have to weigh the potential rewards against the potential risks.
That's a good point. Okay, so one more bonus pick to go. What's the last company on Corey's list?
He wraps up his list with Wayfair.
Wayfair, the online furniture giant. What's his take on them?
He thinks they're poised for a rebound. They had a rough time during the pandemic, but he believes they've weathered the storm and are now in a good position to grow.
It's interesting. It seems like he's not just looking for companies that are already on a hot streak. He's also looking for companies that might be undervalued or overlooked.
That's right. He's looking for those hidden gems that have the potential to surprise the market.
Okay, so we've gone through all 7 of Corey's picks. nvidia, SoundHound, SoFi, Serve Robotics, Palantir, NIO, and Wayfair. That's a pretty diverse range of companies.
It is. He's covered everything from cutting-edge tech to robotic deliveries to data analytics to e-commerce.
It's been a really interesting deep dive into his investment strategy and the factors he considers when choosing stocks.
It has. But it's important to remember that these are just one person's opinions. Investing always involves risk, and what works for one person might not work for another.
Right. We're not giving financial advice here. Our goal is just to explore these ideas and spark some conversation.
Exactly. We want to get people thinking about different investment opportunities and encourage them to do their own research.
This deep dive has definitely given me some new companies to look into and some new things to think about when it comes to my own investment strategy.
Me too. And I think it highlights the importance of staying informed and always being willing to learn more about the world of finance.
That's so true. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions about your money.
And remember, knowledge is power. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop learning about the world of finance.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring Invest with Corey's stock picks with us.
Until next time, happy investing.
So there's potential upside, but you got to think about those geopolitical factors.
Exactly. It adds another layer of complexity when you're looking at international markets.
It does, for sure. Okay, so one more bonus pick to go. What's the last company on Corey's list?
He finishes things up with Wayfair.
Wayfair, yeah. The online furniture, home goods, all that stuff.
Exactly.
What's his take on them? They've been around for a while.
They have. He thinks they're poised for a rebound. They struggled a bit during the pandemic.
Oh, right.
But he believes they've learned from that.
They've come out stronger.
Yeah, and he thinks they're in a good position to grow now.
Interesting. So it seems like he's not just chasing the hottest companies or the trends that everyone's talking about.
Not necessarily, no.
He's looking for companies that maybe have been, overlooked or undervalued.
Yeah, he's trying to find those hidden gems, those companies that have the potential to really take off.
Oh, I like that approach. All right, so that wraps up Corey's picks. We had nvidia, SoundHound, SoFi, Serve Robotics, Palantir, NIO, and Wayfair.
Quite the list.
It is. It's a pretty diverse mix of companies, and it really gives you a sense of, how he approaches investing, what factors he considers.
Definitely. But it's important for everyone to remember, this is just one person's opinion, right? What works for Corey, what he thinks is going to be a good investment, might not be the right fit for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're not giving financial advice here. We're just exploring these ideas, having a conversation, and hopefully getting people thinking about, different investment opportunities and encouraging them to do their own research.
That's the goal. It's all about learning, staying informed, and making your own decisions based on what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, for me personally, this deep dive has definitely given me some new companies to check out, some new ideas to explore. I always like learning about new potential investments, even if I don't end up, buying any of these stocks.
Yeah, me too. It's always good to expand your horizons, learn about different companies, different industries. It helps you become a more well-rounded investor.
That's a good point. Yeah. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make, smart decisions about your money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, knowledge is power. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop learning about the world of finance.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that wraps it up for this episode of The Deep Dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring Invest with Corey's stock picks with us.
Thanks for joining us. And until next time, happy investing.